Okay, so now that we have an idea of how to identify the units of the variables, we can actually apply this to solving two-variable linear equation. And there's two types. We'll look at the first type one first. So here's a situation similar to what we just saw before. Maria thinks she is faster than her friend, so they decide to race. Her friend even gives Maria a head start of 1 mile. Maria runs at a constant pace of 6 miles per hour. So first, we're going to go through these questions that are important to set this problem up. So what is the slope of Maria's race? Well, this is going to be a quick refresher to what we did last unit as well. So the slope, we need to remember that's the change. Well, what's our change? Well, it tells you that how fast is she going? Well, 6 miles per hour, that is a changing amount. You're changing 6 miles every hour, so the slope, or m, is 6. Okay, what about the y-intercept? So what's the y-intercept? Well, remember the y-intercept is our start. So how much of a start did Maria get? Well, it says that she had a head start of 1 mile. So our b equals 1. Write the equation. Well, we need to remember that that's going back to our y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we're just going to plug this in to our y equals mx plus b. So what we really have is y equals 6x plus 1. Okay, now that we have that put away, we can work on what we've done so far. So what does the x and the y represent? Well, if I'm looking at this situation, remember the x affects the y. So what are the two units that we're talking about here? Well, if we look at what we have here, our miles, right? And we have our hours. Well, what affects what? Do hours affect miles, or does your mile affect the hour? Well, the mile is not going to affect the hour, but every hour, if we're running at a constant pace, every hour, well, that's changing how many miles you've gone. So remember, that's how you figure out, okay, well, that means that my hours is my x and my miles is my y. So our x is our hours and our y is our miles. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, we can look at the first type, and that's going to be question number 5. Okay, so for the first type, how far will Maria be in 6 hours? Okay, well, we know that we have our equation. So the first thing I need to do is write my equation. Y equals 6x plus 1. Okay, and I know it's asking me how far will she be in 6 hours. So is that referring to my x or my y? My x or my y? That's what you need to figure out. Great job. That is referring to my x. So that 6 hours is referring to my x. So what I need to do is just go ahead and plug that in for my x. So y equals 6 times 6 plus 1. Well, that equals 36 plus 1. Well, so y equals 37. But you had to say this right. What is our y units? Well, our y units, we said, were miles, so it's 37 miles. We need to include our units on answers like this. There is the first type of solving two variable linear equations.